All right. So just make sure. Yep. Okay. So welcome. Thank you for coming to the last Foodie Fun at Home Holiday Styles. Today we're doing apps and mocktails. And so hopefully you'll get some good ideas for Thanksgiving and the holidays to come. So that's my name is Andrea Nikolai. I'm the UF IFAS extension agent in Polk County who does family and consumer sciences. So I'm a registered dietitian and I love talking about food and nutrition. So this is right up my alley. And then if you haven't used Zoom lately, COVID's getting a little better, so maybe you've taken a break, but you can just hover at the bottom of the top of the screen and there should be a chat box option. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to type them in there and I'll try to look at them before the class is done. And then I have a short evaluation that I'll send you guys following the webinar. And for those of you who have come to the previous two classes and done the survey, you guys are my gold stars. So I really appreciate it one more time, but it really does help the feedback. I look at it and then I can see how I can improve. So thank you. And then 3 big things today. So we're going to talk about easy and delicious appetizers for the celebration, breaking down the board, appetizers to love, and then holiday drinks for all ages. So just a reminder, like you've seen this probably in every presentation, but the goal would be half your plate fruits or vegetables. So, filling half your plate with fruits and vegetables, 1/4 with starchy things, and then 1/4 with that lean protein. And then you can have like a dairy then, or you could have that for your snack. But just thinking about that when the holidays are coming. So the idea is that you load up on all those holiday vegetables that we have. And then, so for appetizers, it would be great because usually in America, we fall short on the vegetables and fruits. So if you can include those in your appetizers, that'll help people get it in their meal even before the meal starts. So it's kind of a win. So we're just going to talk about first, just breaking down the board. So something that's become popular lately is the charcuterie board. So the definition of that is actually, it's a French word that's used to describe any of a variety of cold, cooked or cured meats. And so it usually consists of meats and cheese and often fruit or nuts. It's kind of like a meat and cheese board is what we've made it in America. So it doesn't have to be a board, but it could be a plate or a platter could work also. So we're just going to give you some ideas on something that you could do with that because that's a great appetizer idea is just to even have, it's very trendy right now, just have like a cutting board and then decorate it just as you want with different fruits and vegetables. So here's just a couple ideas for veggie appetizers kind of decorating that way. But just kind of, you could do this. You can see how it could be done and it could be really fun. Just bring a smile to people and add some vegetables in their lives, which would always bring a smile, right? So just first of all, something that could go on the board and then something with any appetizers is in America, we love to dip, especially kids, but it goes with adults too. So thinking about things like hummus and guacamole, it doesn't have to be like those high calorie dips. Like the hummus has protein, the guacamole has healthy fats for our skin. There's tzatziki sauce, which is kind of like a refreshing cucumber dip. So it's made with plain yogurt and then cucumber. It's in Middle East, and then they have it with garlic, salt, olive oil, sometimes vinegar or lemon juice, but it's mainly that grated cucumber and yogurt. That goes really well with grilled meats like chicken. Then you could have salsas and fruit salsas. Everybody loves salsa, except maybe people who don't really like spicy things. So chia seed jam is another one. So we kind of, jam can be delicious, but one way to thicken it could be actually using chia seeds. So you could actually just use mashed fruit and then add the chia with that. You could make your own jam. There's pear butter. You could just take a few ripe pears and a cup of a little bit of water, and then you can puree that down and you have like a creamy pear butter. And then there's pumpkin and vanilla yogurt is a good dip. There's multiple fruit dips, and then lightening up your favorites. So like hot spinach dip, you could use plain Greek yogurt, or you can actually use cottage cheese. So one recipe I've tried is cottage cheese plus mozzarella plus canned artichokes. So you have those and then frozen your canned spinach and garlic, and you mix those together, and it definitely is, it still has that stringy cheese feeling, but it's way, the cottage cheese has a lot of protein, whereas it, might have sour cream usually. So just a couple things to try. And then veggies, definitely they'd be great on the board. So, things you can just plop there. You don't have to do a lot of fuss with them, like carrots or the rainbow carrots look really pretty. Celery, cauliflower, you can just chop that up raw. cherry tomatoes, cauliflower, broccoli, cucumbers, zucchini, sugar snap peas, which are delicious. So if you haven't tried those lately, it could be a good new vegetable. Radishes, they're nature's fireballs, but they can look really pretty, as you can see in the picture. Bell peppers are mini sweet bell peppers. A lot of people like those too. As you know, they're not hot at all, they're sweet, and so they can be really good for you. Lots of vitamin C. Asparagus, you blanch it first, or if it's tender, you can just eat it raw. So these can go great with the dip options. So if you want to make asparagus to blanch it, just they do this a lot at weddings and things like that, where they have raw like vegetables. And so what you do is you just take that asparagus, put it in boiling water for a second, and then about actually 2 to 3 minutes, and then you put it in ice cold water and just kind of tenderizes it. So when you pick it up, then it's just a little less chewy and it kind of brings out good flavor. And then there's fruits too. So people love using fruits as something for sweetness, and you know, they feel good doing it. So grapes, melons, orange, grapefruit slices, blueberries, strawberry, kiwi slices, you know, they're not turning brown. These are all great options. Apple slices, and then you can use there's slower browning apples, or you can dip them in lemon juice, or if you have a vitamin C tablet, you can just break that up and kind of put it in some water and then dip the apples in there. That'll help keep them from browning. Persimmons are delicious. Pineapple, pears, figs, pomegranate seeds, dried fruit, that can be, you know, really easy, right? And then people like that intense sweetness, sometimes goes really well with cheeses. And so, you know, you don't have to use like a variety. If you want, you could just use one or two, and melons can be really cost efficient. You might wonder, you know, when you go out to eat sometimes and there's a side of fruit, it often has melons in it. That's because the melons go pretty far. So you can serve a lot of people and people usually like them. And it's kind of nice because you can cut them the night before too. So then pickled things often go really well on those trays too. You can kind of see, if you guys see the fresh figs here, we got grapes, we got some cheeses, some dried apricots, and then just thinking about like olives, okra, mushrooms, artichoke hearts, and dill pickles. Or you can grill, roast some vegetables like peppers, zucchini, summer squash. I've seen those a lot on the trays, because then people can just kind of pick them up and you just I guess eat them on a little plate or whatever, but it's a great way to get some vegetables before the meal even starts. And so protein, then you can kind of, as you can see, you could have like a picnic just on a board sometime with your spouse or with your family. I know a family who actually does that. They sometimes just have meals of like assorted things on the board, just kind of fun for the kids. But a protein idea, then you could have mixed nuts and seeds like the almonds, pistachios, walnuts, and peanuts. And each of those have different benefits for you. And cheese, the mozzarella balls and feta slices, they tend to be lower in fat than other cheeses. So it could be a win. Sliced turkey or ham and rolls, which would be lower in fats than the other meats. And then cocktail shrimp, really good for you. Hard-boiled egg halves, that's the perfect protein, or eggs. Edamame, so those are soybeans. So you can get those frozen, or you can get them frozen, and then you could just put them in a boiling water for a second or thaw them, and those are great appetizers. Complete protein also. Roasted chickpeas, and then chicken or tempeh skewers. So the tempeh would be made out of soy also. So you could just, another thing is nice, like if you are going to have other cheeses on the board, some ideas would be just to use like a very flavorful cheese, because then you could people could enjoy it without like needing a lot. You know, just a little bit would do what they need, you know, and get a lot of flavor. So just some tips on that. And then just different ideas other than the board could be whole grain crackers, toasted whole grain bread cubes, whole wheat pita slices, bean chips. There's actually chips where the first ingredient is beans, not like way down on the list, so you can look for those. Baked tortilla chips, where you can make them yourself even just by using tortillas. Some people cut them, you know, with a pizza slicer, and then you make the triangles, or because it's Christmas, or you know, whatever season you're at, still Thanksgiving, right? So pumpkins, you could like use a cookie cutter and cut pumpkins out of the tortillas and then bake them in the oven. And so you could have like a cute like idea would be the, you know, pumpkin chips, I guess. And then air pop popcorn is a great idea. You could put it in a little bowl, just have different seasonings on the top. And you could do something like that. Can be really good. And then other ideas would be stuffed tomatoes, stuffed mushrooms. So you would take like those button mushrooms and chop off their stems, and then you could use that chopped stem in the filling with Italian breadcrumbs and some Parmesan cheese, and then you cook that. Really nice. Stuffed dates, You could do that with ricotta or goat cheese, or you could put the date with toasted walnuts or pecans. Stuffed jalapenos, you could use, take off the seeds, on the membrane so that they're not even like that. They don't have that spice anymore. And if you want to leave it in, great. But you could put that with avocado and sharp cheddar cheese. I did a recipe testing contest one time and somebody had submitted that recipe. So I tested it. It was really good. So just an idea for that. And then some other ideas, then you could go with the theme. So if you do something like a board or a plate, you could have it be like an Asian theme. So you'd have like edamame, veggie sticks such as sugar snap peas. And then you could have like a peanut sauce as a dip. You could have kimchi on there, baked or boiled pot stickers, seaweed snacks, things like that. So that could all go together. Or you could do an Italian. So you'd have artichoke hearts, olives, and cheese. Or you do like the Mediterranean one with artichoke hearts, olives, cucumber, tomatoes. And then you could have the Mexican version where you could do the salsa, guacamole, bell peppers. And then we got our American where we could have like peanuts and broccoli and hummus, maybe sliced peaches, or we could do like the blueberries, strawberries, and something white like cauliflower, kind of like American flag idea. And so just ideas, is you could base it on a theme and maybe that could help you just narrow down what you're putting on there. All right, moving on then, just thinking about the board then, just you aim for less pepperoni, like summer sausage and bacon, those things, and kind of go towards the leaner proteins that give you a lot of proteins and nutrients without all the extra fat and calories. So shrimp, turkey, lean ham or roast beef, or even prosciutto can be really good options. And then more whole grains, like try to choose the whole grain crackers instead of the ones with the white ones, I guess, made with refined flour and enriched flour. And having more colorful fruits and vegetables, just, they make your plate look beautiful and they're so good for you. So some good ideas there. And here's just kind of, you can see where there's some hummus, some fruit and vegetables. I would try to add like some leaner protein, maybe some turkey rolls in there instead, maybe some egg, and then whole grain crackers and some more fruits and vegetables. Like if I was going to mess with this, tray it all. But you see they have the nuts and they have some berries and vegetables in there. So not too bad at all. Dietitian review. So then just thinking about beyond the board, then some different ideas would be mini vegetable quiches. You could do those in just muffin tins. Potato boats filled with spinach and cheese, kebabs or skewers, grilled vegetables with the meat and cheese. So grilled salad kebab, Greek salad kebabs, excuse me. So you could do like feta and cucumbers and cherry tomatoes. Or you could do something like sheet pan nachos. I think I mentioned something like this last time with like cauliflower or zucchini as the base, and could just let everyone kind of go at it. Could be a kind of fun idea. Okay, and then there's endive leaves. These are often served at weddings. I've seen with goat cheese and walnuts. Put a dash of goat cheese at the end with a walnut and serve that, and then people just pick up the endive leaves. Sweet potato toast. You could take the whole sweet potato and then you cut it in half, like cut it in a long way, and kind of makes like a piece of toast, but you can put appetizers on that then. That's a very common kind of trendy thing right now too. Avocado or hummus deviled eggs, delicious. So some ideas there. Flatbreads. So just, just ideas other than the board. You could do as an appetizer. You take something like in this Aldi flyer here, right? They had a kind of a page where you could buy the naan, the pumpkin, cheese and spinach, and you put it all on there, and that was their appetizer sale, which would be really delicious. So something like that, or you could do grilled cauliflower steak. So you actually cut the cauliflower like the long ways to make steaks, and you could put hummus on it, kind of flavored hummus, and then bake it. Fiesta hummus flatbread, you could do that guacamole and pineapple flatbread. So you can see how you could put vegetables and fruits on the flatbread with like kind of a base, just to make it, festive, but also pretty good for you. So then there's seafood ideas. So sushi poppers. So if you have kind of a group that would be interested in that, all you do is you cook short grain rice with rice vinegar and sesame seeds. And you can add assorted fillings if you want, but you just roll them in balls then. So it's kind of a really cute, kind of upscale thing, but pretty easy to do. And then there's baked coconut shrimp cups. So you can use shredded unsweetened coconut, 1 egg white. You bake it in a muffin tin, and then you can add like cooked chopped shrimp and some sweet chili sauce. So that would be a pretty fancy appetizer. And then we have maybe some less mainstream ideas, but they're becoming very popular, especially with vegetarians. So creamy cashew cheese. So it's paired with vegetables, crackers, or fruits. You actually make cheese out of cashews. And so you use like the blended cashews with nutrition yeast. So that's it's a vegetarian dietary supplement. It's like has a pleasant cheesy flavor. Call it like I guess like the vegetarian Cheeto dust. So then there's like the pear grilled cheese sandwiches. You can cut those in cubes. You could do tempeh, which is that it's soy product and it's made from fermented soybeans. So, but it's kind of more has a denser texture, I guess, but it's very satisfying. And then there's buffalo cauliflower. So you can do cauliflower. It's coated in a buffalo sauce mix and then it's baked. So there's just some fun different ideas. So now we're moving on to mocktails. So first one I have for you is the melted snowman. Anybody know what this is? What do you guys think? Any guesses what this made up of? It is water. So you could serve that. Pat's like, I have no idea. So just you could serve the melted snowman, which would be water. One idea somebody else actually suggested, she said you should put a carrot in there. So kind of like, the appetizer, and then it'd be the melted snowman with the carrot. So we got the water one, sparkling water, splash of juice and a garnish. That can be very classy, and something like sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon or lime and mint. Sparkling water or plain water with just freshly squeezed oranges. You could do a mulled cider. So you'd have apple cider or juice plus cinnamon sticks plus orange zest. Chilled spiced chai tea, very popular too. Like a healthier Shirley Temple. So you could do pomegranate or plain carbonated water seltzer plus 100% cherry juice, a small amount of stevia or sugar, and then fresh cherries. And there's also the purple cow or the orange cow. I don't know if you've ever heard of those, but they're, I think, regional more. And so purple cow is grape juice concentrated plus milk. And then there's the orange cow, which is orange juice plus milk. So I haven't tried either of those, but, they're popular with a lot of people. So they, may be something to try. Has anybody tried those? You guys let me know if you have. The eggnog smoothies, you could do banana plus plain yogurt plus vanilla, few raw almonds, and a dash of nutmeg. So you could make kind of a smoothie like that. Low-fat hot chocolate. You do a mimosa, so sparkling 100% apple juice or white grape juice plus 100% orange juice. And then you could do kombucha and ginger and turmeric hot cider, or apples would be apple cider plus fresh vinegar plus turmeric plus lemon peel plus a dash of cinnamon. So you could kind of see how you could have a lot of fun with these different things. So just a couple more. Then there's the hot pumpkin drink. And so that would be, you take milk plus pumpkin puree. So thinking about this for Thanksgiving now. A little bit of maple syrup and then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And you combine all the ingredients in a saucepan and you heat that. And then you can froth it if you want right before with a blender or an immersion blender. But it's kind of a fun drink and you get some vitamin A from that pumpkin. So kind of great. It's there's a cost per serving on that. It's 52 cents per serving, so it's a lot better than going out to eat and getting a fancy pumpkin drink, but you can do it yourself. So here's a couple other ideas, and they were actually from the Science Symposium for Seafood Nutrition. So the first one was the Blue Crush, and so they have grapefruit juice in there, carbonated water, and then the other things were the handful of berries, squeeze of lime juice, and then crushed ice. So that would be a mocktail idea for you. And then we have another one, the shrimp wreck. So it's a kind of like a Bloody Mary, but just the vodka then is optional, and using these other ingredients, you could make that. So you can kind of see how you could do something that would work for the whole family. That could be really delicious for you too. And then there's mojito water. So that's an idea. So you muddle some fresh mint leaves, and then they help doing that helps release their oils and their flavors. And you cut 1 or 2 limes into slices, and you stir the mint in the lime, and then you refrigerate it and let it like the flavors release, but it kind of has that hint. So that's all I have for you today. I really appreciate you guys coming. And then I just have that canning class coming up, and we'll be posting some more too. But I'd love to have you at the canning class if you can come. And just that short evaluation then, and I really appreciate it. So does anybody have any questions? Okay, so Steve just asked the muddling. So that's like when you take kind of a dish, and there's usually I guess it'd be kind of like smashing it, or there's sometimes a dish where you can do it with spices and kind of like a wood pounder, and you just kind of make it so you kind of smear it all around and flatten it, but it really helps bring out the oils and the flavor. So yeah, Pat, I can definitely go back to the Bloody Mary option. I'll do that. So that's what I have for that one. Thank you guys so much for coming. Let's see. Melted snowman. Good. All right.